BassResinator here. I'm going to use my turtle mold again. I already have the eyes in place. Don't know if you can see all the way down in there, but I put a dot on, there's a pattern on these eyes. You can't see it very well through there, and you can't see it at all. You can see there's an eye there, but that's about it. And the pattern sort of has an upside and sort of has a downside. So what I did was I did one dot on the back of that eye and then set it in place, and both of them have the dot facing back. So I'm gonna make this. Ooh, got some little pansy things here. I took a deep breath and they went flying across the table. Okay, I've got another Petoskey stone. I put one of these in a frog recently, and I would like to get this into the head without dislodging the eyes. So I think what I need to do is try and put it in. Maybe that's all I'll be able to do is right there. And then I've got this big soapstone, and that's going to fill up the whole body. This side has got more color stuff on it. I coated both of these with UV resins because both of these stones have porous texture, so I wanted to make sure that they weren't going to give off any extra bubbles. But this is just going to barely fit in there, and it's going to hold the Petoskey stone in place. I need to make sure that side is to the front. Okay, put it right here. Let me mix up some resin. I'm going to be using the Bondcraftor 1:1 resin, which is, I have done 3 pours with it now. And the first one I used, and the resin was really cold, and it stayed slightly cloudy, but that was okay because the resin, I wanted it to have an opalescent, there you go, opalescent color to it, because I had some stones that were opal in there. So it worked out fine. The other 2 that I have done have been very clear. That's what counts. And I want this to be very clear. So I'm not going to use any color, none in the fins. I say that. Last time I did that, and I put some color in the fins, and it caused all of the whole thing to go a little bit cloudy. No, I'm not going to do any. I may fill it up to a certain point and then stop, and then come back with another layer and put gravel, aquarium gravel in there. I'm thinking as I go. Let me mix up some resin and continue thinking. Okay, mixed up the resin, took it out to the vacuum chamber, and it is really clear, except there is a hair. Got it. Okay, so now what I want to do is pour some resin in. Oh, I used some of this laser powder in the flippers, nowhere else. Hope it doesn't come loose. Now, this is going to be the side towards the shell, so what I'm going to do is pour some of this resin on it, set it in, and then get the Petoskey stone into position, and voila. hope, I'm looking at it and it looks like it will fit. Whoa, I got my nose running. Just a second. I have seasonal allergies, and so I rinse out my nose with a saline solution. Sometimes I'll lean over and that saline solution says, "I want out." And it was coming right then. Okay, he's going to have a little belly that sticks out. So let's see if I can push him a little bit that way. And I hope this all fills in around the head, because I pushed that Petoskey stone in there. Let me see about this. If I lean it forward, oh, there we go. I can see it getting dark. You can't see it. So let me see if I can get it facing you. Watch this get darker as the resin goes in there. Okay, so now my problem is, are we going to be able to get any in that tail? Okay. His chin area, he's chinny chin chin. Okay, I can lift up like that. Make sure that other eye has not come loose. Okay, it has not. And now get his there's that bubble that always wants to hang in there. I don't know if you can see it right. Oops, sorry. Right there. Got him. Looks like there's another little one. Okay, please say that I got it. Because with those stones in the way, I just hope that his head is able to fill up. Oh, there's a big old bubble came out of there. There's another one. Another one. Another one. There's another one trying to come out right there. Another bubble right here. I can see it. There we go. Okay, eye there. I can't see that side. Let me turn him a little bit. Looks like it stayed in place. I hope. Hope I haven't messed with it too much and dislodged that eye. It looks like it stayed there. Please. Now, Petoskey stone is a fossil from the, boy, there's a hair, from the Great Lakes of the United States. And that's what's in his head. And I used one of those on a frog earlier. Oh boy, that would be so nice if I have all those bubbles out. I don't even play the guitar and I fret. Sorry, that was a grandpa joke. I fret over bubbles. If you don't know what fret is, go look it up. Okay, pouring the rest of that into another mold. I'm gonna have ring holders galore because that's the mold I have sitting over here. Okay, cure up, please. Please do it nicely. Now, only bubbles that should be there are those that I got from moving stones around because I put it through the vacuum chamber. And it was bubble free. Oh, here comes a little bubble. I see it arising. There's one on there. Come on, keep coming. Oh, they came right up and popped. Cool. Okie doke. I will see you for the unmolding. It's all cured up. I went around and loosened the edges around the flippers. But I haven't unmolded this guy yet. But I hope this came out really good. Trying to get that tail thing undone. Well, maybe if I go down here, loosen that up and start pulling. Ah, the struggle is real. There we go. I just put cream on my fingers. I should not have done that. Oh, there was a little bit of an air bubble on his tail again. Thought I had it all out. I hope that's not an omen that I have other air bubbles up on the head. That would not be fun for me. But if you can see, this resin is very clear. This is Bondcraftor, if you have forgotten. I'm doing a bunch of tests with it now. Ah, let there be no bubbles on the head. Please. I would encourage you, if you're going to be unmolding something, don't put on cream on your fingers or on your hands. Come on now. No bubbles. Eyes stayed in place. Yay! Look at this. And those flippers with the shiny blue laser paste. Do you see what I see? It's very clear. That soapstone is so much prettier in resin than it is in real life. It was just there. And the Petoskey stone, if I could have gotten it further up into the head, I think it would have been nicer, but, you know, there's a little hair type of protrusion there. It's not very sharp at all. I filled it up good. Wow. It's a soapstone. He is clean. Oh, I like it when a plan comes to fruition in a very nice way. Look at those eyes. You know, now that I think about it, I did a really good job putting this blue laser powder, because it matches those eyes really nicely. Whereas the stone is just a gray and a black and white. Those eyes being that blue are really offset, but with that, you know, I would like to say that I had thought about that all along. I cannot do that. I will not tell a lie. I did not think that far ahead, but it actually makes it look like I did. Wow. Okay, to fix his tail, I need to get my UV resin, Bondcraftor, since I use Bondcraftor resin on the body itself. Oh, there's a gap right here where that soapstone was a little bit thicker, and so it lost a little bit. So I'll put some UV resin there too. You know what? I'll just grab the mold. Do it this way. Stay. Stay with me. Stop moving. Okay. Now, what we do on his tail, and I thought I had that bubble out. And see, and that bubble shape fills up perfectly. Looks like I'm going to need to charge this flashlight. Okay, that should hold that in place. Now, this belly area What I think I'm going to do is just do a little bit like this. Spread it out nice and even. And I will cure that, and we shall have a finished product. Let me make sure there's no bubblies. It's bubbly, it's bubbly, it's bubbly in my shell. That's what the turtle said. But this will give him a skid plate. Okay, I'll put that under the big lamp. I'll be right back. Okay, so now that's smooth. There's no more bump, and that tail is resolved. So we have a beautiful sea turtle. See the turtle? Using a soapstone and a Petoskey stone. You can see the little markings of where the Petoskey stone is a fossil, and there's markings of different crustacean type things that were stuck on when it got fossilized, and parts of it broke away, and it just leaves that little pattern, which is really kind of cool. This side is really evident, and those eyes are just brilliant. Brilliant, yes. Yeah. Very clear. I'm Bondcraftor. I'm really impressed with this resin. So, yeah. And that stone causes this to have a little bit of wobble. I had already filled it all the way to the edge with that the resin in the mold, so there was no way to put another coat of resin on the bottom. So, I mean, if I want to, I could either put little rubber feet on here, or I could put a little strip of UV resin on each of the things to hold them up, or just leave them like that. You know, if people are going to have this in their home, or something like this, one of these turtles, most likely they're using it as a centerpiece or something of that sort, or on a mantle, and they're not going to be just moving around and going, "Ooh, look, it's wobbly," even though it is. Or a paperweight. It's not gonna. This, with that stone in there, this is not the. It usually weighs 5 ounces with just resin. Let me see how much this weighs. I'm putting it on the scale at double the weight with that stone in there. It's 10 ounces. So, yeah, so 10 ounces, more than half a pound. That'll hold down a stack of papers in a pretty strong wind. So, yeah. Thank you, subscribers. I appreciate you hanging with me. And, man, I'm just looking, it's so clear. And even with the cream that was on my fingers. The turtle got creamed. I'm sorry. I was sitting there. Should I say it? Should I say it? And I went ahead and said it anyway. And I noticed I touched the bottom over here and got it all nice and creamy. Now some of that laser, I got hair on my finger. Some of that laser powder, I don't know if you can see the streak right in there, was not put down strong enough. Well, it looks like that's the only spot. Resin as it cures draws to the middle, and it pulled it out of that one flipper and pulled it right onto that rock. That's okay. No more bubbles. They only had that one bubble on the tail. I was really afraid of what it might be up here on the head, but that turned out okay. Yes. Okay, stick around for the stills, and we'll see you for the next one.